Hey, what's going on, guys? Battle Nation's Emperor here, back today with another video. And today, guys, we have a bit of a funny video, not really a serious video. I'm currently working on the lore recap and breakdown of the Silver Wolves, and they have a lot of information to them. They have a lot of different characters to them. They have a very good story, and despite being gangsters, they have a whole mafia-style lore behind them, and it's very interesting. But I won't get into the spoilers for their story or even the video in this one. So while I'm working on that and making sure I cover all the details of their extensive story, I just wanted to do this fun little video, kind of based on the current trend of who would win in a fight between 100 humans and 1 gorilla. And just for the record, my personal bet, I understand a gorilla is much stronger than a human. It could rip a human's head off in like a fraction of a second. But I don't think people realize how big the number 100 is. Like, this is 100 compared to 1. It is freaking massive. So while I do believe there are going to be dozens of humans that die, I think all of 1, even with just their bare hands, as long as you got a few men that are brave enough, as long as all 100 men are determined to kill this gorilla, I think we got the dub. But anyway, besides that, as the whole internet is talking, I wanted to bring it into our Battle Nations game, of course, our beloved fandom, and ask the question, what Battle Nations units, or which Battle Nations units could kill the most gorillas? So I have 20 of my personal favorite Battle Nations units selected out in no particular order, and they're not even my top 20 favorites, just 20 I picked out of the wiki that I thought would be funny for this video and selected together. So we're gonna go ahead and start with, of course, had to throw him in here, and of course have to start off with them, the basic trooper. Now, it's important to note, while we don't know exactly what that gun is, it's very rumored to be a M1 Granada. It even says so in the wiki. It says in the fun facts trivia that it's probably, and it pretty much does look like it. So I'm just going to assume it's an M1 Granada, and according to Google AI, it can kill a gorilla. Now, here's the problem. He's just a guy with a gun. Like, it's a pretty good gun. It's a very serviceable gun. However, it is just a guy with an M1. You know, you're not going to get much off of that. So I think the trooper's gorilla count is 1. And I'm so sorry to give that to him, but I genuinely think best case scenario, he goes in there, he takes 1 shot off, and then immediately he gets swarmed by the other gorillas and just gets completely killed in an instant. By the way, we're assuming all gorillas, just as many as you can take. So just as the humans, the 100 humans versus 1 gorilla, the 1 gorilla has to take on all the 100 humans at once. We're doing that exact same thing here. So each trooper, whatever their number is, they have to take on all those gorillas at once. They can't take them on 1v1v1 because there are some units that we'll get into that could probably do that forever. So trooper, I love you, dude. We all start off with you. But yeah, dude, you're getting 1 lucky shot off killing a gorilla, and then all the rest of them are just ripping you to shreds. So 1 gorilla for the trooper. Next, moving right along to the second unit in the game, we have the shock trooper. Now, I freaking love this guy. He's classic, and it's worth noting, according to the trivia and what it looks like he has a MP40. Now, it is important to note that this one's less certain than the M1 for the trooper, but I'm still just going to go with that gun. And that gun's a very powerful semi-automatic, and obviously we see that in game with him being able to, you know, pop off shots like it's nothing. So how many gorillas do I think he can kill? So it's important to note that that burst fire, while effective, does have a cooldown, and more importantly, I'm not sure if it could be sprayed across multiple targets, and if it could it be done effectively? I think best case scenario, he gets 3 gorillas. I'm feeling generous there. I feel more comfortable putting him at 2 gorillas, but I really do like the shock trooper. He has a cool little yellow helmet, and overall, I think bro has a nice design. So I'm just going to assume he gets lucky. He shoots off his first bullet, spray and pray, and he gets 3 lucky headshots or even just heart shots and is able to kill 3 gorillas. Again, 3 gorillas is still probably a bit generous for him, but I still feel confident giving it to him. So I'm going to give 3 gorillas to the shock trooper. Moving right along, we have the Mortar Team, and this one's tough. So I'm going to give them the benefit of being placed back, otherwise it would be 0 gorillas. If they were placed right in front of the gorillas, you know, before they can even get the first shot off, gorilla, slap their face, dead. So I'm going to assume they're up on a mountain and the gorillas have to get to them, and in that case, I think they get one, maybe even two shots off. And the thing you got to remember about these guys, unlike the previous two units, they have splash. So, of course, they're going to shoot that mortar shot off, and a huge explosion is going to go off. And if they shoot into a crowd of gorillas, they could get some serious damage. So, I'm going to assume they get, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they're up on a hill. They're able to get two shots off before a gorilla is able to get to their position and then just rip them in half. Rip both of them in half, probably grab both of them and slam them into each other, just a pile of blood. So I'm going to assume they get two mortar shots off, and with those two shots, I think they could probably kill a total of 8 gorillas. I'm going to go, actually, I'm going to change that. 10 gorillas. And here's my logic here. So, of course, that little attack formation they have, one center, up, down, left, right, basic artillery formation in Battle Nations, that hits 5 tiles total. So I'm just going to assume every one of those tiles has a gorilla on it, and each one of those gorillas die because, I mean, in real life, if a gorilla got hit by an explosive, I don't think it's living that. So I'm going to feel comfortable here giving them 10 gorillas. It's a lot of gorillas, but they're up on a high vantage point. They have the high ground, and they're shooting into a crowd of gorillas. So for that, I think they get 2 shots off and are able to kill 10 gorillas. Moving right along, we have a very powerful trooper. I'm excited about this guy. We have the Field Agent, one of my personal favorite Battle Nations regular troops of all time, just a general GOAT. I'm going to be honest here. I think he has huge potential. So, of course, immediately starting off the battle, he pops his nerve gas, and I think that stuns a bunch of gorillas, maybe even just kills a few right off the bat, because, I mean, it's actual nerve gas. That's going to be diddly, you know. Stuns a lot of gorillas, kills a few gorillas, does damage to all gorillas, because, you know, it's a complete area of effect, affects the entire enemy battlefield. And then if any gorilla gets too close to him, dude, he's got that pistol, and that pistol is not a regular pistol. I don't know what that thing is, but if you've ever played him in Battle Nations, you know that thing is deadly. It does massive damage. I have no doubt in my mind if a M1 can kill a gorilla, according to Google AI, and we all know that that trooper is much weaker than, that trooper shot is much weaker than this Field Agent's pistol shot. I have no doubt that Field Agent pistol shot is able to kill a gorilla. So he is just constantly popping out nerve gas, stunning them, walking back, and if any gorilla gets too close, he pops them in the head with his pistol. I think he's going to survive a while. I'm going to go, I really want to give him 20, but I'll go more conservative. I'll give him 15. Here's my reasoning. I think he pops off that first nerve gas, kills like 5 gorillas right there. Let's just say there's a field of them. Heck, 100 gorillas, if we want to go with the human comparison again, the original. 100 gorillas, pops it off, kills 5. You know, gets 5 lucky critical strikes, kills 5 of them. They keep charging, One gorilla gets too close, bang, straight in the head, that's 6. Pops it over the nerve gas, 11 again. Another gorilla gets too close, bang, shot again. All right, now it's not looking too good. I got a lot more gorillas coming up. Bang, bang, another shot, pops a nerve gas, gets a lucky kill, 15. And I could possibly say 20, but I'll go more conservative, say 15 with the pop-off of nerve gas and his shot. And next, we have a fan favorite, the Sabatur. This guy's freaking awesome. He's super cool, super mysterious, and he is going to get some heavy damage on these guys. Not only does he have a pretty equally strong pistol to the Field Agent, you know, a very strong single-shot attack, he also has the ability to teleport and play C4. And now, I don't think I need to say how strong this is. Assuming we let him have that ability IRL, he is so freaking broken. He's going to teleport up to gorilla fields, place that C4, boom, gorilla gone. I'm going to honestly go ahead and give him 25. I know that's crazy, but genuinely, between the teleportation, the C4, and his shots, and just the overall aura of this man, I'm going to give him 25 gorillas. I think he has it within him. Moving right along, we have another fan favorite, one of my personal favorites as well for limited edition units. We have the Special Ops. Now, the Special Ops is nothing to play around with. He's basically the Field Agent, but buffed in pretty much every single way. So, with that being said, pretty much again just the exact same thing, except also he has a few new attacks. I'm going to have to, I can't believe I'm saying this, 30, legitimately 30, because he is literally Battle Nation's version of Metal Gear Solid. He is so freaking goated. He looks unbelievably cool, literally what you would imagine a tactical unit to look like. And if the field agent's already popping off so many by himself, I think the special ops by himself, yeah, 30. 30 final answer. I feel comfortable with that too. Moving right along, we have a real huge fan favorite here. Don't get me wrong, people like special ops, but people would die for this man right here. We're of course talking about the Blood Ninja, possibly one of, if not the most popular Battle Nations limited edition troop of all time. Of course, if you discount, the TF2 units, but that's kind of cheating because from another IPO. So, the Blood Ninja. I genuinely forgot how freaking powerful this guy was. I was looking at his wiki. He has a 600 damage singular attack. He has a splash attack that starts, it spreads out. It's not complete like nerve gas or anything. But it starts out, it does 127 and then slowly dissipates as it gets further out. This guy is insane. I remember him being good, but looking at his stats, it wasn't just nostalgia. He genuinely was broken as heck. I can't believe I'm saying this. Give this man 50 gorillas. Yes, 50 gorillas. Because this isn't even really a man. This is a being of nature. This guy has one mind, one goal. And that goal is to get blood. And he does it very well. And gorillas have a lot of blood. So I think he's going to enjoy it a lot. And yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to give him 50 gorillas. And finally, for our last human of this video, of course, if you guys like this video, we could do a part 2 and we could, throw more humans in here. But for this video, the last human, we have the Zombie Hunter. Now, the Zombie Hunter is a very special dude. He's also a very powerful dude early on. Unfortunately, he isn't as late game as all these other humans we've been talking about. You can get him at level 10. And yeah, he very much plays like a level 10 unit. If you got him at level 10 when he, released, yeah, he's really freaking good for level 10. Early game, he dominates. Only problem is, early game isn't everything. And as we know, he'll eventually drain out. So, for that, unfortunately, I'm going to have to draw him back a little bit. But still nothing to scoff at. He's got a very nice shotgun attack. He's got that freaking chainsaw and a baby raptor. So, I think gorillas are poaching him. Pulls out the shotgun. Double barrels a few gorillas down. Releases the baby raptor to distract. And then just holds on to that chainsaw for dear life. I'm going to give him 15. I was going to do 10. But that baby raptor, I feel, could probably kill a few gorillas on its own. Because even though it's a baby, it's a freaking raptor, man. It's going to do some damage. So, I'm going to give him 15 gorillas for the Zombie Hunter. Now, the first animal of the video, we have the regular Battle Raptor. This guy, you don't want to mess with this guy. This little guy right here, he could mess some things up. So, the Battle Raptor, basically just a raptor. And yeah, oh, dude, have you seen Jurassic World? I imagine a lot of us have seen the Jurassic series. These guys are not to be played around with. Give me 30. I know that's a crazy statement, but like, I feel he'd be moving too fast. I understand, if they could all get around him and just beat up on him, that would work. But like, the difference between 100 humans versus, 100 humans versus one gorilla is I feel the gorilla's too slow and he doesn't do enough damage. He just punches and bites. I feel the humans can surround him and just punch him down. The problem with trying to do that with the Battle Raptor is as soon as like a few gorillas swarm him and make a circle, he's just using his claws and fangs to just tear through them like soft butter with a warm knife. And is just immediately getting out of that encirclement and just killing more gorillas. Yeah. Honestly, I feel more comfortable putting him at 40. Just because they're going to need a lucky hit from like several different gorillas to get this guy even slightly withered down. And all while they're just trying to pray they get a lucky shot off, he is tearing through them like paper. Yeah, give me 40 gorillas for the Battle Raptor. Continuing on. Let's see. Oh, that's actually the only regular animal. I'm going to save the rest of the animals for the end of the video. But let's go ahead and move on into vehicles. So, starting off with the basic, the mini tank. Now, apparently, according to Google, gorilla can't take care of a tank. That's not even Google saying that. That's Quarry, a 7-year-old one at that. So, gotta love the internet. We've always been thinking of these type of things. However, a mini tank is a miniature version of a tank and isn't a full-blown tank. So with that being said, give me 20. Give me 20 gorillas. Because at the end of the day, I think the shot from a mini tank could probably still one-shot a few gorillas, especially if angled right. And, like, I think they try to knock it over, but it's probably pretty heavy. And the fact that I think it could flip itself back over if in a pinch. And I think they're going to have to do a lot of punches. Because, I mean, it's just their punches and fangs, you know. I feel like they'll really hurt their teeth trying to bite through that. And punching through that is just going to take so freaking long. So, yeah. Honestly, final answer, 35. Give me 35 for the mini tank. Final answer. Speaking of tanks, let's go to the next one. A super tank. Okay, so this is a real freaking tank. This isn't, you know, little kid's tank anymore, you know, baby's first tank. This is real full-on tankage. So, honestly, super tank, give me 60. Heck, I'm honestly, no. Give me 65, legitimately, because it is going to take so many gorillas to get this thing to stop. And while they're trying to bite through it and breaking their teeth and punching it and hurting their fingers, probably breaking their knuckles, this thing is going to keep boom, boom, shot after shot after shot. And it is just going to be demolishing gorillas left, right, and center. Give me 65 final answer for a super tank, because this thing will tear through your gorillas. And moving right along to the second to last vehicle, we have the best tank of them all, the Mega Tank. Now, I genuinely forgot how bad this guy freaking looks. He looks so, I'm not going to say bad, yeah, we're a kid-friendly channel, but, you know, spoiler warning slur warning, no, that sounds terrible. Censored word warning for anybody who cares. With that being said, the Mega Tank is just so badass. It genuinely looks awesome. I remember freaking out over this thing as a kid, and I can see why, because even as a full-grown, a full-grown adult, this thing just looks freaking awesome. You know, it's got the miniguns, it's got beautiful armor, and let's not forget the artillery shots on the side, and then, of course, the best of it all, the massive freaking cannon up front. The gorillas are screwed with this one. Give me Pokemon 151 for this. I think it is going to take an army of gorillas led by Gorilla Zoo, to take these guys down. It is going to be a challenge. I feel confident with that Mega Tank just driving in there and just having a field day, killing gorillas left, right, and center. And for that, give me 151 gorillas. I think they're going to have a very bad time with just one mini tank slaughtering through them. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Tank Killer for the vehicles. So, what's there to say about the Tank Killer? Very devastating shot off front. Only one problem. His recoil. His recoil is going to kill him. I genuinely think he only gets one shot off. And that's with me placing him, very far away from the gorillas. I think he gets one devastating shot off, kills several gorillas, and then just gets swarmed. And of course, we know the Tank Killer can't take a hit and just gets slaughtered himself. Fair enough. How much do I think he kills in that shot? Be generous here, 20. And I know that's a super low count for the Tank Killer, but again, I can't stress this enough. He gets that one devastating shot off And then, so, you know, 25, because it's a massive explosion. I'll give it that. But then, yeah, he just gets rushed by the rest of the gorillas, and they don't have a hard time taking care of him because, of course, no armor, very low health. He does die pretty easy. So, yeah, give me 25 gorillas. Final answer for the tank killer. And this is where it gets fun. We're done with vehicles. We're into boss strike units, and then something special for the last few. First, the boss strike. We got 3. I chose the Halloween boss strike just because I thought it'd be pretty funny. So let's get right into it. First, starting off with the bullfrog. This guy looks scary. I loved having him. He's freaking awesome. Unfortunately, though, I think he only kills a handful of, a dozen or 2 gorillas before he gets hit himself. He's a very, very weak unit. He's basically a glass cannon. And I unfortunately think that does draw him back a bit. I think he gets a lucky 20 kills off these gorillas before eventually being swarmed himself. Give me 20 gorillas for the bullfrog. Moving right along, we have the stalker. And oh my gosh, this guy had such a cool design. He still does, and I cannot wait to see him back in Madrona Games Battle Nations because he just looks so freaking cool. I'm going to give him 40 gorillas. Here's why. His attack is literally just jumping in the air and using that huge blade arm he has. I think he's skilled enough with his own arm and his own high jumps that anytime he gets in danger, he can just jump out of the situation. And anytime he's surrounded, he just slashes his hand and just kills every gorilla in sight. So with that being said, you know what? Freak it. Final answer, 45 gorillas. Straight up. And last, but certainly not least for the infected, we have the Apex Colossal. Oh my gosh, dude, I dreamed about this guy so much when I was a kid, because unfortunately my clan did not get tier 10 for this guy, and it hurt me. But still, can't deny he's an awesome unit. I'm going to say a flat 100, because this guy is basically the Hulk. He's the zombie Hulk. He can shoot out those spikes from his back as an attack. He can attack like a wimp with this huge, massive fist, get huge, devastating blows off. And honestly, the more I talk about him, I'll go ahead and raise him to 125, because what are the gorillas going to do? Bite into him, get infected themselves, punch him and hit one of the spikes and cut their arms up? Yeah, it's going to be a lose-lose battle. Give me 125 gorillas for the Apex Colossal. And we're down to the last 4. And I saved the best for last, my friends. We have the legendary 4 animals. Of course, had to do the legendary 4 animals. Starting with the first one, the legendary Mammoth. Now, fun fact about this guy, which I can't believe I'm only mentioning now. Did you guys know he's freaking level 1? Like, you can get him at level 1. That blew my mind. I was like, what the freak? Yeah. So, just another thing you gotta love about OGZ2 in Battle Nations. Like, Clash was out here telling people, you know, you spend $20 to be good for a month, and then everything you bought is worthless. Meanwhile, Battle Nations was like, hey, give us $5, literally $5 worth of nanopods, and we'll give you one of the best units in the game. A god tier unit that can carry you throughout the entire game at level freaking 1. Oh my gosh, I love Z2 so much. Okay. Call me crazy, call me nostalgic. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. 200 gorillas. Here's why. His roar attack. One of the most broken attacks in all of Battle Nations history. A complete aura wave attack that attacks everything in sight. The entire enemy battlefield has a high chance to stun. It's basically nerve gas, but even better. A nerve gas is already extremely freaking good. That fails him, he can throw the log. That fails him, he's got his own body. He's got his, massive mammoth. And then even if the gorillas get up to him, a mammoth would already be hard. Like, a regular adult mammoth would be hard for a gorilla to take down. This is a legendary. This is the mammoth of mammoths. At least until the plasma mammoth comes out. So yeah, full stop. As crazy as it sounds, give me 200 gorillas for the legendary mammoth. Moving right along, we have the legendary boar, and oh, this guy's a beast as well. Unfortunately, though, he doesn't have as many good splash attacks, so that is going to hurt him. But, of course, he's got a very nice charge attack. He's got a very nice swing attack. Best boar in the game, hands down. No question about that. I'm going to give him 100. Unfortunately, yeah, half of what the Mammoth, Legendary Mammoth. But still, he doesn't have as many good splash attacks. And I feel you could do more against a boar. You know, Legendary Mammoth has all that fur. It's massive. Legendary Boar is like, I imagine, a really huge horse, like a giant horse kind of size. Maybe more like an elephant, I guess would be. No, probably smaller than an elephant. Maybe somewhere in between there. So yeah, smaller, and more importantly, I don't think he has like the tankiness, just the fur and the build. I think the gorillas can get a few solid punches off and start doing some damage pretty early on. Give me 100 gorillas for the Legendary Boar. Moving right along, second to last, we have the Legendary Raptor. This guy, whew, oh my goodness, from his scratch attack to his bite to the fact that he looks like a demon and the fact that he's elemental resistant, this guy is a force to be reckoned with. I genuinely think, full stop, we have another 151, another Pokemon case on our hands, because this guy is basically like the Battle Raptor, but he's going to make the Battle Raptor look weak, because he is going to be tearing through these gorillas like it's nothing, chewing through their face, and what are they going to do? Punch him? They can't. He's too fast. He's a Battle Raptor. I mean, he's a Battle Raptor at heart, but he's even faster. He's just harder, better, faster, stronger. Just a Battle Raptor with all massive buffs. So with that being said, give me 151 Legendary Raptors. I'm sorry, give me 151 gorillas versus one Legendary Raptor. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Legendary Sandworm. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, because if this was just a 1v1, take one gorilla on at a time and see how many you can take, the answer would actually be infinite here. It would literally just be infinity, because this guy, oh my gosh, 90 nanopods, because he is worth it. You know a unit is good in battle nations where they only limit you to 3 per battle. Just pure cinema. I'm going to go ahead and say it. 300 gorillas, because, you know what? 500 gorillas, because what are the gorillas going to do against this man? He is from the center of the earth. Magma runs through his veins. His core is made of an outer shell. His skin is rock hard obsidian. You ain't touching this guy. What are they going to do? Even if he just stood still and took it, they're going to be punching our giant rock. They're just going to break their fists. Bite into him, good luck losing all your teeth. It's just going to be insane. Give me 500 gorillas, because I just don't see how they take this guy down, genuinely. And if he's trying, it's over. It's over for the entire gorilla population at that point. I will be more realistic, though. Give me 350. I'll cut it in the middle. Give me 350 gorillas for the Legendary Sandworm. And yeah, that will just about do it for us today, guys. Just wanted to make this fun little video. Talk about, the trend going on right now, of course, of 100 humans versus 1 gorilla. It just kind of popped into my mind the other night, and I thought it'd be a funny video. Next video probably coming out tomorrow, and it's going to be about the Silver Wolves, their entire lore breakdown. It's going to be a very good one, because Silver Wolves have a lot of good story to them. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that will almost do it for us today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider dropping a like down below and subscribing to the channel if you are new. If you have any questions, suggestions, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what Battle Nations unit you would like to know what they could take on in a gorilla. Let me know what you thought of my gorilla rankings. Did you think they were accurate? Did you think they were far off? Let me know your own gorilla ranking in the comments below for your own personal favorite Battle Nations units. And yeah, that will do it for us today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.